Welcome to the Global Exclusive Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Shadow, and today we're joined by Barros and Muspel, and our guest, Cotton. Welcome to the podcast,
Finally.
Cotton.
Oh my god, we've been waiting for Cotton to join us for so long. Cotton, I'm a huge fan of your work.
Thank you. Wait, what is my work?
Well, I love how you always gift the mute to Nexus, for instance. That's fantastically done.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
Honestly, right now I think I'm muting maximum more than Nexus, so...
Hey, actually, what time is it for Nexus, right? Can you mute him on the pod and he's gonna be what the fuck, and then he's gonna listen to the pod and he's gonna realize why he was muted?
Does he listen to the pod?
Yes.
I don't know, Ashley. But I mean,
He
it's
does.
worth it. Somebody listens to the pod and is gonna tell him. So just go mute him now. We're gonna give you a couple of seconds. Go mute him and say
and
nothing.
this here is an example of why Barra should never be made a Discord mod.
No, Cotton, I actually agree with this. Go mute him now and mute him for 69 minutes. And then he'll wake up to figure out that he was muted for 69 minutes by Cotton, probably in the middle of the night for him. And he'll be
he has no idea, right?
Yeah.
What happened until he listens to the pod, and then he's gonna be like, motherfuckers.
see?
And this is why Shadow should not be allowed near any sort of power on this Discord either.
I'm gonna be the responsible one and say we should not do this. We should not do anything that encourages Nexus. Nexus should be muted, but he should be muted because of the things he says.
No, this isn't encouraging him. This is... Well, I guess it is encouraging him. Sorry.
I think this talk
Moving
is
back
very...
on to more pertinent topics.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, this topic is very, showing just how interesting this week is, I guess. Although, it's a cool unit, but yeah. Sorry. Yeah, actually, you know what? I take it back. I take everything back.
Okay, but before we start with the unit that everyone's waiting for, let's start about the unit that we've waited for a year, and she's like a year too late. Poppy. Yeah. Weren't we all excited to get her?
Where did she come from and who is this? Also, yeah.
This is from Season 3, which literally everyone skipped and nobody knows anything about.
Yeah, I just saw this random girl on banner with Behemoth. I have
Doesn't
no
she have
fucking idea.
Doesn't she have a CG?
Yes. I
Yes.
think. Unless they removed it for GL. She had one in JP.
No, she does have one.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Dream's favorite CG, actually. And Indra's.
So she's she's sort of aimed at Dark Vision mostly. She's got some killer buffs, she's got imbues, she's got elemental amps. I think she's a tough sell for that these days, just because we've gotten better units or more specialized units nowadays. So I don't think people are going to use her in Dark Visions that much. Plus, we have Zon, so her killers aren't that big a deal. She was probably more important in JP. But even in actual trials, she does have one skill which is worth mentioning, which is a single target 90% mitigation for one turn. So that could be useful for some tanks if they're getting absolutely shit on a specific turn for whatever reason, because that basically guarantees they won't die.
Yeah, how long is the cooldown?
8 turns.
Ah, okay. So it's...
I don't... this does not make her an amazing
Hold
unit.
on. If you bring 8 poppies and a tank, your tank has full uptime on 90% mitigation.
Yeah,
This unit is broken.
I mean, just think of how you could do that in the 10-man, because the 10-mans definitely let you bring duplicate units and didn't prevent you from doing that, right?
Would be really cool if we had a trial where you could actually do 10-man duplicate units. I would like to beat the trial with or the Medius challenge, a trial with 10 Mediuses. Medii?
I really hope that Gumi doesn't listen to this podcast sometimes.
So okay, but I have a question about this unit, Muspel. So given this kit, I mean, there's a lot in this kit, right? There's imbues, imperils, there's curing breaks and ailments even, I think. I don't know. I have no idea. Killers, holy shit, there's a lot. Is this a good unit for new players?
No, there is one thing about her kit that makes her good, and I'm thankful for you providing me with this segue, because let's talk about her TM.
Motherfucker. Too easy. I just laid it up for him. I'm sorry. It's this was not my intention.
Her TM isn't actually that amazing, but it's 70% spirit when you're using a staff and 20% HP and a little bit of autofill. And tanks do generally prefer HP, but you can usually get really high HP on materia once you start moving into STMRs. So having something that has high spirit is still fine. Again, this is not... Nobody should be pulling for Poppy, I don't think. But, whatever. it's not a bad TM.
Yeah, I mean, come on. It actually sounds pretty good. I didn't look at it until you said something. But 70% spirit and 20% HP, that is
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah, it's a reasonably solid TM for tanks if they're using staves. It's just a lot of magic tanks can't necessarily use staves, and other units don't care that much about the stats these days. So, and then sorry.
I mean, it is almost as strong as Chow's SDMR. So.
Yeah, but Chow's STMR is unfortunately terrible.
Just like
Chow.
I don't even remember what his STMR is. I just know it's bad. It's a materia that gives like 80% spirit, right?
Yeah, and like 20% HP, I think.
I didn't realize he gave HP.
Her STMR is really good too, but yeah.
Yeah, what about the STMR? So it's what is it?
It's a staff that it's an elemental weapon with 7 elements, everything but dark, and then at the start of the battle, it gives you 10% damage amp for water, wind, and light. And this is like not great. Like a year ago, this would have been kind of nice for story events because those tended to have a bunch of missions that made you use different elements.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, does anyone remember that? That was like a chore without the Rainbow Whip. I still remember doing those without the Rainbow Whip.
Yeah.
That sucked.
Annoying.
Yeah, this is one of those things like you could have equipped it to somebody along with a dark weapon and then just had them use an AoE attack every turn and it would have made those missions into a joke. But nowadays there's nothing where this is relevant. I guess if we ever get another trial that where you want to like seal every element, it's fine.
It's still our only source other than Rainbow Whip to use like all these elements, and plus because it's innate, you don't need to use an ability like Rainbow Whip. So you could technically auto attack or whatever else that you want to do with it.
It's unique. I question where it's useful.
And that's fair. I think it's just it's unique enough that I think if you get it, you can be happy about it because I'm sure it'll be useful at least 1 week.
Yeah, I would not mind having one. I would never in a million years imagine pulling for it or spending STMR Moogles or UOCs on it. If this were an event item, I would be thrilled. As an STMR, I'm deeply disappointed.
Well, yeah.
Cotton had something to add?
I think the overall issue we have with Poppy is that she was just released too late. Maybe a few months ago, her kit would have been good with all those water, wind, and light applications, or her killer buffs, or even like her on-demand limit break field skill. But we've got, in the meantime, since her supposedly release time originally and now, we've got so many other units who do those stuff and sometimes even better. So when you get her now, it's like, what do we use her for? Do we even need her?
Yeah, well, I'm still thinking like this. Okay, here's my take. I still think this is actually a very decent unit for a new player that doesn't have all of these things in their roster yet. But aside from that, I don't know.
I think before we move on to the other unit on the banner, this is actually a good opportunity to talk about the other units that we skipped from JP. Because, Poppy was put on King Behemy's banner, I assume, because they needed a 5-star and they didn't have one. But there's a bunch of other Season 5 units that JP got that we never got in GL. And I think a lot of people, myself included, had assumed that we were going to wait until they got NVAs in JP, and then they would be released that way in JP, just as 5-stars who already had an NVA. But Poppy kind of threw a wrench into that idea. So, other units, there's Kalmia, there's Cleome, there's Daisy. I'm looking at the list of units here. I don't know if some of these are Season 3 units, because I skipped all the cutscenes. Luciano and Audrey.
But I mean, is any of them good? Should we be excited or look forward to any of them being released? I thought Poppy was the grand prize, because Poppy was the only
Daisy was good. But
Daisy was good. I don't she's a 7-star tank now, so I don't think she'll be relevant in that respect.
Okay.
Film is easily power crap as a DPS. The only thing we might look forward to is Kalmia, I guess, since she's one of the healers with zombie cure, and there's an upcoming trial that does zombie
I think
or something.
Kalmia is entirely overshadowed by NVA Lotus Mage Vina.
If Kalmia had come out, I think everyone probably would have pulled for her. So
I guess looking at Kalmia's kit now, she does have on-demand zombie cure, so maybe that would be better. I guess because I think Lotus Mage Vina's is only in her shift, which she stays in for 1 turn, right?
I'm glad you brought this up, Muspel, because there's one thing about the schedule that really actually impacts us now, and that's the Arden Noctis dilemma, and here's why. GL hasn't done a dual NV banner ever yet. Like, all the dual NV banners were split across 2 weeks. Now, there might be a monetary reason, or there might be like maybe this is more favorable for the fans. Who knows? But
minor note, technically, like Kingdom Hearts was not a dual banner; it was a triple banner, and they split it into 3 banners that ran
and
across
they were on
one
the same week. Yeah, but like
Yeah.
whatever other dual banners that JP had.
Yeah, I just want to mention that because otherwise people would bring it up in the comments.
And they intentionally split it. But my point here is this: if they're going to do this continuing forward, there's a lot of the upcoming banners are dual NV banners. But the issue is with scheduling. Now that we have King Behemy came out this week, and probably next month we're going to get the next Fan Festa unit. So if that's the case, we're getting to Arden's going to become in a weird place because next week is almost 100% guaranteed to be Luna Freya because it's a raid. Then the week after that, do we get Arden, which pushes Zidane back another week, and it gets awkward where Arden could just literally be left on the wayside.
I think Arden is the new Gabranth.
So yeah, that's what I was trying to bring up. Like, Arden could be skipped like Gabranth or at all these season 3 units.
I highly doubt that. It's not just Arden. We also have Luna Freya from Final Fantasy 15. I don't think it's gonna be skipped. Or, I mean, okay, anything can happen. Hey, I've been wrong about Gumi's plans before, but I'm pretty sure we're getting them just like maybe 1 week of GL contest winner and 1 week of Final Fantasy 15. I don't know.
I think that if they were going to skip an NV, Arden makes a lot of sense because he's almost a carbon copy of Noctis. Like, he has his element switched and his killer switch, and that is it. Like, I don't want them to skip Arden, but I think they miss the least by doing so.
Yeah, but we're also assuming they would need to skip, but they really don't. It's actually the opposite, right? Because we've caught up. They actually need to have some spacing in between. That's actually what the initial thought was, why they split the Final Fantasy 15 banner, to actually get some distance between us and JP. But we do know that we have a couple of contest winner units, though, so that's...
And we haven't gotten FMA either yet. The FMA collab hasn't happened.
We might not get that one. I don't know. I hope we do, but we might not.
I mean, the chances of us getting the FMA collab is a lot higher than us getting the what's the other big collab coming up?
The Secret of Mana?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get that one. Like, I'd like to, but I don't think we are.
Have we skipped any NV, like, limited time banners? Like, collabs yet? No, right? There was only one, technically, I guess, Kingdom Hearts. Was there any other NV collabs in JP?
I don't remember. So. I'm no JP expert. But yeah, I mean, the thing is...
I don't think so.
And we're just going to get one contest winner per month, right? That's what they said. Or? Exactly. So the next unit is kind of this month's, right? Meaning that we still have a couple of weeks until the next one, meaning that's where they could put in the missing banners.
I bring up the Arden skip possibility is because Arden as an event was part of the MK event on JP. So the MK event ends next week. That means Arden should either get his own event, which has to be global exclusive, or he gets shoehorned into an existing event like Luna Freya, which makes the most amount of sense. But again, they've never done dual NV banners, and they've been consciously avoiding it. So I feel like that's out of the option.
But they could do a Kingdom Hearts again though. Like, they could also put Arden next to Luna Freya with a banner of his own, kind of like that. Maybe, I don't know.
Wouldn't that defeat the purpose of delaying things so that they don't overlap with JP? Because if you put Arden with Luna Freya,
no, but you have a point. You have a
point. Effectively puts the same thing. So what I'm trying to bring up is like Gumi has a schedule of like 1 MK a month, 1 raid, 1 GLX, and maybe 1 SC every month. And Arden, if it doesn't fit in that schedule, could easily be left behind in the dust.
You know what I want them to do?
It's definitely a good point.
I want them to embrace chaos and rerun the Final Fantasy 12 event that Gabranth came with, but do it with a banner for Arden with no Final Fantasy 15 event.
Genius. No, but I mean, it's like, I'm thinking like this. We're overthinking this because, okay, they might be skipping Arden, they might not, but if they want to put Arden in, they could quite easily do like a bullshit wave battle event or something with any mob in the game, really, and still come out on top and kind of have an excuse for Arden. I don't know.
Look, Baras, I don't think you have to worry about them skipping Arden because the original Noctis and Arden banner had a lot more NVAs. We've only got like Nyx. So most likely they purposely left behind. Yeah, they purposely left behind some of the NVAs to go on the potential Arden banner.
The only NVA we're missing is RNA.
Yeah, because the Gladio Prompto and Ignis were technically with the Luna Freya release, so they're not late. And those MVAs aren't late. They're exactly on time when they come with Luna Freya.
Yeah, but we're still missing Aranea.
So RNA and Arden are the only things we're missing, and technically, CP Noctis's enhancements, but those we mentioned.
And let me put it this way: the only reason for not having Arden, because like the other thing they could have done is just done the Kingdom Hearts thing where they could have had Noctis and Arden on separate banners during the same event, right? They could have done that, but they didn't. And the only reason for not doing that, because he's a free NVA and people would pull, is to just like delay him and get more money. Or I don't know, like that's the only thing I can see. I see no other logical explanation for not putting Arden there. So let's see. Anyway, this is the wrong banner. What banner are we actually talking about? Cotton, do you want to introduce your favorite unit in the world after Chow?
That is actually a good point. Alright, so moving on to the unit we're all interested in, the unit whose no matter how crap this kit was or could be, a lot of us actually pulled for the sprite.
Yes.
Time to talk about the King Behemy. And let's be honest, Gami actually did a really good job with the sprite, didn't they?
They did. Not only is the base sprite fantastic, the shift sprite is also great.
Yeah.
Animations are on point. Just looks fantastic. Honestly, looks fantastic.
Yeah, good job with the Kalmia on this.
Does anyone get like Beast vibes from Beauty and the Beast, the Disney movie?
Yeah, I was thinking that too when I first saw that.
A bit like the horns and the hunched over thing. Yeah, like kind of hairy back. Looking good.
We can get the boring part out of the way first. His TM is actually not boring. Like, well, okay, it's boring, but it's good. It might be the best physical tank weapon in the game.
Is it better than Sleepblade?
Snow's STMR.
Better than what? Snow's STMR has 175 defense. This has 135 defense, 30% HP, and 30% defense.
Also, Snow's STMR is a fucking axe, and nobody can wear axes.
Also,
It's a
just to
fist.
be clear, I'm talking about the upgraded version of Sawtooth.
No, but
Plus.
so isn't Sawtooth? What I'm thinking is that isn't Sleeping Blade technically better with a rare item world rare?
A lot less flat defense though.
Yeah, the high flat defense matters a lot when units start getting like equipment defense stats from like true single wield or whatever.
Yeah, I guess that wouldn't matter.
Yeah, I guess the drawback here is that it's a greatsword, and not all tanks can wear greatsword. I don't know, for instance, can Gebranth wear greatswords?
That's a good question. I don't typically give great swords to tanks. Yes, he can. I just checked.
Okay, but that's good.
Yeah, tanks don't usually use great swords. That's largely been because there aren't any good tank great swords. I'm not sure how many of them actually can use it just because it doesn't come up.
Yeah, true. We haven't maybe looked into it too much.
Yeah, it's usually swords or daggers or something.
So what about his STMR then? What's up with that?
It's also very good. 100% true single wield defense, and then 40% regular defense.
Honestly, Behemy's STMR is like probably one of the best tank materials we ever have. Because unlike a lot of the other equipment defense stuff, his is basically unlimited. You can use it with any weapon at all.
Yeah. I mean, obviously in some situations you might prefer something that has resists or whatever, but in terms of just adding flat bulk, this thing is bonkers.
Yo, Snow would love this shit.
I mean, Snow is already bulky as fuck. He doesn't need it.
And then his card adds a ton of HP and a good amount of defense and some percent HP, some defense when using a great sword, which again, his TM is a great sword, which is amazing for tanks. And then it also gives 20% evasion. I mean, we can talk about evasion later, but that part, like, I don't think is relevant for him.
But so now I might be speaking heresy here, but I remember Sinzar mentioning that his BIS isn't even his own card.
That might be the case. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, it makes sense because sure, 50% defense, 30% HP on a card is nice, but the flat defense is 60. Do we have higher defense? Like, what is Gabby's?
I think Gabranth's is 80.
Yeah, then
defense.
he'd probably want that.
But Gabranth's has less HP. So I think the thing is, since King Behemy, he has ridiculously high base HP.
Yeah, he can get 50k at EX3, by the way.
Yeah,
Wow.
he has something we haven't seen, I think, since Gladio, which is like every unit has a certain spread of stats when it comes to pots, like stat pots. And most units have like the low spread in terms of HP pots. He has the high one, which we haven't seen again since Gladio. So he gets 900 HP from pots, and that goes up to 1350 with door pots, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean this is a chunky boy. So
Which
if
suits
you
his
kind of
sprite.
Yes, sorry.
Let's-
Sorry, I didn't finish my thought from earlier because I got sidetracked. So the thing is, since he has so much HP, adding more flat HP from a card isn't necessarily as valuable. So for him specifically, he might want a card with higher flat defense, just because you want like high defense and high HP. Other tanks might prefer his card over their own
Yes.
because they don't have as much HP to begin with.
So thing is, if you're really into Behemy and his design, does that make you a furry?
We don't answer these
Moving
questions.
on.
You just don't even respond. Just keep talking. And
'Cause, like,
ignore that he said anything.
I have very confused feelings about Behemy's sprite. I really do. Like it looks
Muspel,
amazing.
you bring up a good point about the huge stats, but
I bet. Hey,
He's-
I bet Shadow's fursona is a squirrel. Shadow, is it a squirrel?
he's missing something big.
It feels like
and,
it's a squirrel.
And the big thing that he's missing is what I think
Maybe a
knocks it down a
chipmunk.
peg for certain people. And that's any general mid above 70%, which is kind of important for tanks at this point.
He does have 90% on his Magnus, but yes, he doesn't maintain high general
One use
mitigation on himself.
Magnus. Good luck with that. Now, you did mention the evade, and I'll start expanding upon it now. His whole kit, he has a lot of evasion. Like he has innately like 30%. His TMR has it. His his card has it, so he could easily get 100% evasion. And
I
he
mean,
has
so
this-
can fucking any unit in the game by now. Honestly.
And he also has this thing called reduce accuracy. Fucking what were they thinking?
Yeah, it's not great. So for context, we've talked about accuracy before on the podcast, but it was a long time ago. The way that accuracy works is all enemies start with 100% accuracy, and if each percentage point of accuracy you have over 100% gives you a 1% chance to ignore the enemy's avoidance. So if I have 500% dodge and the enemy has 110% accuracy, they have a 10% chance to ignore my dodge and hit me, and then the other 90% of the time I'll dodge everything. So basically what this means is that if the enemy has 200% or more accuracy, they always hit. Now, the problem is that any enemy that has more than 100% accuracy generally has like 250% or more. So a 10% accuracy debuff does absolutely fucking nothing, unless you're not at 100% dodge, in which case I think it gives them a chance to miss if you can get their accuracy below 100%. But if the enemy doesn't have 100% accuracy, you're just going to gear for dodge. And if they do have accuracy, you're going to ignore dodge completely. So there's no point to this. It's useless.
Well, I disagree a bit because we were actually discussing this in the Discord, and King Behemy is kind of known for having quite a nice kit. We haven't talked so much about that yet. We're gonna get to that soon. But he's not the chunkiest of tanks, unfortunately. Like his effective HP, well, or rather, let's put it this way: he suffers a lot from not having that high general mitigation, right? That other tanks have. But what Behemy does have is actually a lot of innate evasion, coupled with the physical accuracy reduction, meaning that if you're tanking something where you're taking 3 big physical AoEs per turn, Behemy can literally could negate one of them with some of the Mirage he also has per turn, meaning that he could still, of course it's still a bit RNG based, but that kind of brings him up in efficiency of effective HP, which I think is a pretty cool concept. Although,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. He's this huge, meaty guy, and his thing is that he evades.
I
That
think
doesn't make
maybe
sense.
it's not supposed to represent evasion. Maybe it's just supposed to represent that he's so fucking tanky that he just ignores the first bit of what you do to him.
Oh my god, that is amazing. That's an amazing interpretation. Okay, I am hard. I'm sorry. I need to share.
He also has some good utility for the party. He can give immunity to ailments, breaks, stop, and charm to the entire party.
That is very cool. That is very cool.
And in addition, he also has an AoE 5k barrier and elemental resist cooldown, 80% to all resists, and 250% defense, 200% attack and magic. The duration on that one is the same as the cooldown, so you can maintain it as long as you're not getting dispelled. Now, having the AoE defense and spirit isn't very useful these days because almost nothing hits the rest of the team, but it's still very strong. The elemental resist part can still be useful in some cases.
Yeah. And he also has a lot of chaining families, so he can also help support chain for you, because like we're in the finisher meta, right? So that does make sense. He has
Bolting Strike, AMOE, Stardust Ray, and I guess Avalanche Kick. Not that anybody cares about that one.
Okay. I need to click this on the wiki now to just figure out how many units have Avalanche Kick frames. Okay. I'm going to open it, but Muspel, you get to say which ones you think they are, okay? Go.
I know Xuanwu has it.
Yes.
I think Qin does.
Nope.
No, not Qin. The other one from Chinese New Year, Emperor Fu.
Yes. All right. Two more.
Rico Rodriguez had
Obviously, he started it, right? And
no, it started with Xuan.
Oh, it did. Oh, okay. One more.
I don't remember the last one.
Yeah, you'll never guess it. It's actually Itachi, the scorpion lady.
Fucking goddamn it.
Yeah. Or I don't know if it's actually a scorpion or if it's a thing coming out of her back, but it really looks like a tail, so I'm gonna go with the tail. All right, it was close enough, Muspel, but you didn't win. Fuck you.
Okay, but before we move on,
we're not moving on anywhere. Like, where the fuck are you going?
On.
Oh no, okay. Cotton, why did you pull for him?
What? That's
why
such
is
a
he now
dumb
your
question.
favorite tank?
Because he's one of the fan design units. Because he actually has a really freaking good sprite. I like the concept of him, and I pulled for him.
I mean,
did you pity him?
Yes.
Oof.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to hear.
But I mean, there are some really good reasons for pulling for this unit.
I want to go on and talk about some of the other stuff he can do.
Yeah, please do.
His Brave Shift LB is, I think, like one of the most powerful personal defensive LBs in the entire game. I think it might just be the strongest one.
15 fucking K.
Yeah, 15k barrier, 10 stack Mirage. Those are only for himself, but still, that's a lot.
A lot.
That is a shit ton. In addition to that, he has a cooldown that gives 4 stacks of Mirage to the party, which is obviously very good. He has 150% AoE Demon Killer buff for the party. Like, even in Dark Visions, I don't think his damage is that great. I have not calculated it, but I would imagine it's unimpressive.
Can you gear him with 5k defense and 300% LB damage? Is that possible?
Probably not.
Because
there's I don't think there's like any meaningful gear with defense and LB damage.
Yeah, probably. I'm just thinking because his modifier on the LB is actually 180x, which is impressive.
Yeah, I think in practice, like in Dark Visions, you might use him to provide cover so that you don't need a specific resist for the party, and then he can also do elemental resists and a killer buff and provide chains.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll be amazing, but I think it could see some use.
Sure.
Does damage to HP barriers count towards the HP count in DV?
Yes.
So you would be relying on evasion or Mirage in that case. But like 4-stack AoE Mirage could be handy for that. So I think he definitely like has a role in DV. I just don't know that it's going to be important. It depends a lot on what kind of bosses we see.
Yeah.
He does have the killers and the amps, so that would like probably just...
Killers, amp, imperil, Mirage. He has everything except for the damage. So the question is it worth bringing a unit that contributes no damage when they do all this other stuff? Probably yes on some fights. It's just is it the fight where you actually like care that much?
Yeah. And I think there was talk like when the thing came out that people were comparing him to FaZe, and I can see where the comparison is coming from, but the issue, like not the issue, but he's great, but he's not FaZe level broken. I think he's just perfectly a great tank.
Yeah.
That's just not overpowered, but actually well balanced to the point where I'm actually impressed that Gumi knew where to put him in like the power scale of tanks.
Yeah, I think this,
or it was a fluke.
He might be one of the best designed units we've seen all year, in the sense that he is very, very good. But he's not like FaZe, where you're looking at her just going like, "What the actual fuck is this? Why did they release a unit like this?"
True. I fully agree.
And that fine line is really thin, and I'm glad that Gumi knows where that is, because sometimes ALM has no idea where that is.
I don't think Gumi knows where that line is. I think this was an accident.
Yeah, that's as I said. I think this was a fluke. Like, we're giving them too much credit. But sure, it is a perfectly designed unit. One thing I want to mention about the unit itself is, or one thing that excited me. So I haven't pulled Behemy, I have 0 lapis. I actually showed the proof in the Discord just like yesterday or day before yesterday. But is the fact that he actually has something that we said in the beginning and completely forgot about since, which is that he has resistance to all status ailments and charm and stop and breaks on demand for the entire party. And I actually think this is very powerful because we are in a meta now where healers matter very little, or at least dedicated healers matter very little. You don't have any, like aside from Asura, we don't really have any trials where you use healers. And even on Asura, you don't want a pure healer. You want someone that does something else like Fid or something. And I think that's super powerful that he actually has this very important normally healer, I guess, thing of ailment resistance and break resistance for the party, meaning that you can actually do some crazy compression with him around. So I actually think that's great.
In addition to that, his focus on Mirage and his counter that heals him a little bit, and his big barrier means that even when he is taking a lot of damage, that damage doesn't necessarily need to be healed back as much, so he doesn't rely as much on a healer.
Right. And also don't forget, listeners, that Mirage is not the same as Dodge, whereas Dodge is affected by hit chance. So if the boss has 250 accuracy, they're going to hit you even if you have 100% dodge. But if you have Mirage, they're still not going to hit you because that's a infinite dodge percentage, I guess. That's one way of looking at it. Meaning that he's always actually going to be evading attacks even against someone like Asura, which does bring him up in beefiness, really. Has anyone done an Asura run with him yet on Discord? Like, did anyone share? I would like to see, because like people...
Some people have tried. It's my understanding he struggles a lot with it because he isn't as tanky and because Asura uses her weaker elemental attacks that you're resisting first. And then she follows up with a huge hit that is probably going to eat him alive. I think he can do it. It's easier for a good Panther.
I actually brought that up in the Discord as we were discussing Behemy, where like the Mirage is not as good on fights where the boss is going to spend it before the big hit comes with like something useless, such as an elemental attack you're actually already resisting. So yeah, okay, too bad. But still, I mean...
Hey Cotton, are you asleep?
No, Cotton is just contemplating her fursona. Hey Cotton, what is your fursona?
Damn it, Barrow.
Actually, I can, like, because I know Shadows is Squirrel. Muspel is... Hold on.
We need to talk about the event.
Listen,
we talked about Behemy? We've talked about Behemy already.
No, but we need to talk about the event that came with Behemy because it's a little interesting. And
Is it?
Well, here's the thing.
Is it more interesting than me guessing Muspel's fursona? Think about this one hard.
So,
yes. Maybe I might want to hear that. What is Muspel's fursona?
Oh my God, the boss
it's so easy,
itself is
Cotton.
a
I can't believe we
design
haven't thought
boss.
about this before. Muspel's fursona is a bear. Correct me if I'm wrong, Muspel.
It's Chow.
What?
Chow is my favorite unit.
A dog? Really?
Why a bear?
I get super bear vibes from Muspel. You don't? That's okay. Yeah, that's what I feel.
So the boss itself is a unit that was designed by a fan. So, and I think this should have been a unit instead of. And this isn't a slight at the Behemy creator, but the thing about Behemy and in extension Barrel is that technically they're not original, right? They're based on existing IPs that they've basically added a cape and a sword. And I'm not saying it's bad.
You mean?
I like.
You mean like because it's based on a behemoth? Okay, right.
But that's already a Square Enix property,
right.
and I know that Gumi already broke its own rules when they allowed Barrel to be in. But
the rules were that you're not allowed to do. But I mean, a behemoth is not Square Enix property, right?
No. But this specific Behemy is based on Behemoth on the Final Fantasy series, which is an existing IP, and the rules stated within the design contest you're not supposed to use existing IPs as a submission.
Okay.
But again, I'm saying that Barrel was already the breaker of that, right? So that's a moot point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they meant like don't submit a Titus, kind of, right?
Maybe, but like it still kind of irks me the wrong way that Kairos, which I think is a great design, it probably should have been a unit, or wasn't a unit versus Behemy, who looks more like a boss than a unit. But again, that's a minor complaint. But onto the event itself. Sinzar did the math, and he said you don't even need to farm the daily event. You just need to do the daily challenge, and you will have enough EP to get all 2 of the killers that you'll need for it.
Two of the what?
So the event has two really, really good killers. As in, they're the same killer. Okay, so they have a materia. It's 75% demon and 75% human killer on a single materia, which is fantastic.
Sure.
It's almost an STM art level.
Yeah.
But we can we can farm up to 2 of them.
Right.
The issue is the daily farming event, the level 9, is pretty difficult to OTK.
Wait,
So people have been
but where do you
stripped.
get this materia from? Is it like in a shop?
No, it's an EP. So it's
okay.
event points.
And there are 2
So
to
I
get,
think
so
I-
you can actually get, like, you just need very high event points to get 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the point is that it's weird because the way that they said it is that the daily challenge event, so the one that we, with the break bar and everything, you just need to do that once a day and you'll have enough event points, according to Sinzar at least, to get all the killers. So he's not even farming the daily.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't necessarily think that's weird because the daily one-hit event is actually difficult, or not difficult, but it might be difficult for new players. So yeah, sure, if you can beat that easily and consistently, then you can do that. But if you can't, then there's still the 9 levels of hell to go through in the normal.
It probably depends on how much of an EP bonus you have. Like, I'm not going to do the math right now, but
Yeah,
I would
that's a good
imagine
point.
like Sinzar might be looking at it from the point of view of his own units.
Yes,
Like,
and let's
I've
face
not
it,
read
Sinzar has
whatever
like
it is
5
here.
Elenas and 1 Yoshi running that shit. Or, no, sorry, 4 Elenas, 1 Yoshi, and a Behemy.
Well, according to he doesn't have Behemy yet.
Oh?
He's thinking of it.
Really? I thought he went for it. Okay, my bad.
Oh no, he did. No, he does have it actually. No, I saw his poll video. What am I saying?
Yeah.
No, Sinza shitted the hell out of Behemy.
Yeah. He used like a ticket, and I'm pretty sure Gumi like injected it into
Oh,
his
I am so surprised
Yes,
that Sinzar
exactly.
shittered a unit with just a ticket. This has never happened before. I am fucking shocked. You know what else fucking shocks me? I am 3 on banner NVs on Noctis banner now. 3! Not a single Noctis. Fuck you, Gumi. Okay, if you're listening,
You're
fuck
only
you.
on 3. Do you want to know how many freaking off banners I got on Noctis
Hey.
banner?
On Noctis banner? Yeah, tell me.
I think it was about 9 or 10.
Wait, you're kidding me.
Zero Noctis.
What the fuck?
Cotton. You had to pity the Noctis too, right?
Yes.
Holy
So
shit.
you pitied 2 straight weeks.
150 tickets and a PT Noctis.
Oh my
plus
god.
or PT Behemy. I think I've got being salty covered.
Oof.
I don't get why you guys don't just pull the unit within the first like 5 or 10k lapis. It's easy. I do it all the time.
Yeah, I know. It sucks so bad. Oof. Yeah. Okay. But where were we? Like, why are we on the Noctis banner? What the fuck are we actually talking about?
Okay, but before I can move on, the only thing is this is technically a global exclusive Chronicle battle that's also limited time, which means good luck upgrading that TMR
Oh,
in the
hold
future
on.
for anybody who pulls Beam.
Also, this event also drops these weird Mandragora looking things. What are those used for?
They're probably all they're most of them. It's either 2 things. It's either you use them to create that materia killer, or you use it to upgrade that Behemy's TMR.
Oh, it could
It's
be
one of those.
upgrading his TM. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, because it's like for different EP rewards, you're getting this one plant, and I have no idea what it was for.
Oh no, that's for the killer, the dragon horn, the demon horn fragment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for the
Okay,
materia.
it wasn't a plant. It was a horn piece. Okay, would have. Okay. Okay, cool. So that's for the materia. All right. Yeah.
And then you've been listening, farm that shit because that killer is really valuable.
But I just want to say,
really want it.
one thing that I do want to say about this event, now that you actually got us talking about it, I don't know why the fuck we are, but let's say since we are, it actually was pretty fun trying to gear units to actually get to T1 both daily and the level 9. And I would like to see more of this, Gumi. So if you're listening, I take back that fuck you. Actually, I don't. Fuck you for not giving me a Noctis. But also, this is actually not terrible. I like the fact that the highest level is like trivial to do in several turns, but if you put your back into it, you can actually T1 it. Do more of this because that was actually enjoyable.
Yeah, I'm okay with this event. I was lazy, so I only got to build my Elena today. It takes the builder forever to create an Elena build because it's hard.
I mean, Jesus Christ. Okay, you can also just freebase it. It's not that hard to just guess a good build for Elena.
Yeah, this is the real reason why I hate Elena, just because it's a pain in the ass to gear her.
Yeah, I mean, optimally, sure. But, like, how much are you really losing if you're just using your brain in trying to get a high?
Everything.
Okay, sure.
Because I'm not playing
Actually, who am I
optimal
talking
heroes.
to? I'm talking to, like, the spreadsheet math nerds. I'm sorry, I forgot. I am sorry. I do understand that, like, a piece of your soul dies if you know you're using a build that you know isn't optimal, or that you even just suspect isn't optimal.
It hurts me
No, I get it.
so
No,
profoundly.
I understand.
To
You don't
the
have
core.
Yeah. This is why you're a bear.
So wait, what type of bear is he? Like the rip off your face grizzly bear or Winnie the Pooh bear.
No, definitely.
Or panda bear who just sits down, eats bamboo and does absolutely nothing.
Oh shit, so I was gonna say grizzly bear, no doubt, but now when you put the panda into the game, okay, now I have to think about this, because like Muspel does, like, I can see him, chewing on some bamboo, like getting that leaf down. I could see it.
Waiting for the builder to be updated.
Yeah, yes. I could, and
Just casually sitting back in the corner while Dream does all the maths for him.
Yeah, and I mean,
Hey.
it's not like...
Dream does the math at like 2 a.m. When you do your math in the middle of the night, it's not math, it's witchcraft.
Yeah.
To be fair, isn't like doing math for Dream like in the afternoon for him? So
Yes.
Well, that doesn't count because he lives in New Zealand.
Yeah, and also Dream does have really weird sleep habits, because like he is up in the middle of the night, which is actually pretty normal because he is a student at university, and I had the same thing. But he's also gonna grow up and get a job and lose his will to live. It's gonna happen eventually.
Oh, you mean? Oh, yeah.
Mm.
One day we will be here when it happens to him, and we slowly watch as the light drains out of his eyes.
Yeah, he's gonna be like...
slowly.
Oh.
The light already drains out of him every time he does this podcast. What are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
I think that's Barrows' goal in life, just to crush his spirits.
Yeah, because it makes me feel better about my piece of shit life, like if I make everyone else feel bad. So,
Aww.
yeah. Anyway, I think we've kind of burned all the content for this week, to be honest. Like, we've figured out some personas. We've talked about a really cool designed unit. Not much more to say, right?
I guess, but right before we wrap up, I kind of want to ask this question. Do you think Behemy was worth no NVA GL event units, like seasonal units?
Because
Considering the average quality of NVA GL units, yes, absolutely, because all of them were absolute horseshit.
yeah, I mean, I don't really mind. We do like what I really like is that they keep bringing back Elena and Yoshi as bonus units. I have no fucking idea why Eldrin isn't on that list. It seems very exclusive to get on that list, but it is what it is.
Eldrin is limited time, isn't he?
Yeah,
He is?
Why is Amelia on the list?
Eldrin is not on the list for the same reason that Ibarra isn't.
Oh, yeah, shit,
but
wait,
Amelia.
Eldrin is... Wait, why is Eldrin... When did he come out?
Christmas.
Eldrin is a Christmas... Oh, shit, he is. Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So it's weird that Melia isn't a bonus unit. That's true.
Who?
Yes.
Melia?
It is.
Who's me? Oh, the East, but she's an Easter unit.
Yeah, but she's
But
not
she's
limited.
permanent.
Because the Easter units aren't
Okay,
limited.
but I'm thinking this is more of a seasonal thing, maybe. As in, seasonal units aren't
I
allowed.
guess.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was saying, like if you look at the NVA global exclusive units, like who was the best one at the time of their release? Like Grimlord Sakura, and she was useful for
Kryla?
like 1 or 2 Dark Visions events, and then nobody cared about her ever again. Kryla was not great.
That's not true.
Christine
I've
was
I've
bad.
used the Grimlord a couple of times. She still has that, like, imbues and chains and elemental resistances.
Did you use her because she was good, or because you didn't have
No,
good,
well,
other
yes,
good
both
units?
that and also that I'm lazy and she just fills a lot of holes at once. And I like stuff that fills a lot of holes at once.
All right, we're going to end our podcast right now, everybody, before Barrows can finish literally anything else he was about to say. Thanks for listening, and we will see you all next week.
Well, some of us
Yeah.
will see you
I don't know
all,
if we're
not
going to
all.
get Cotton the guest on the podcast next week, actually. That's not sure. But let's...
Yami, release one of the next Fantasy units and you'll get me on the podcast. You hear that?
Oh, there we go.
That's one way to get me
Okay,
on,
Gumi,
okay?
you know what you have to do. Also, listeners, if you feel like it, try to guess my fursona in the comments or in the Discord.
Cue the chocobos.